Welcome to The Obstacle is the Path. Today we'll be moving through a challenging flow, and let's begin laying down on our side today. So go on ahead and lay down with one elbow directly underneath your shoulder and your legs stacked up one on top of each other. Now from here, I want you to just sort of sag down into the shoulder and then push the floor away from you. So we're kind of doing a lazy shoulder action and then really pushing up and away. Let's do 2 more of these and 1 more. Now keep that active shoulder action here and take one hand behind your head. From here, inhale, open your chest, gazing up towards the ceiling, and then exhale, I want you to curl your elbow towards your wrist. Inhale, lifting your elbow up high, gazing up. Exhale, curl. Stay strong through your supporting shoulders, staying lifted. Inhale as you lift, exhale as you curl. 1 more. And from here today, lifting your elbow up high. Now you can keep continuing with your hips on the floor, or if you're ready for more of a challenge right away today, extending your legs out long, 1 foot in front of the other, lifting your hips soft. So we're in a side plank. Now I really want you to feel your shoulder blade connecting to your rib cage, and imagine like you're trying to draw your elbow in towards your feet. Inhale, gaze up towards the top elbow. Exhale, elbow to wrist. Inhale as you lift, exhale, elbow to wrist. 2 more, inhale, open, exhale, down. Last one, inhale, open, exhale, lower. Gently come on down and let's move straight away into the other side. Same setup here, making sure that your elbow is directly below your shoulder, your legs are stacked. Taking your top hand behind your head, and we'll start with that lazy shoulder drill, just dropping down and then lifting up. Dropping down and lifting up. I want you to remember this phrase today as we move through this challenging yoga practice. The pose begins the moment you want to leave it. Start to gaze up towards the ceiling. Inhale, exhale, twist elbow to wrist. Inhale, opening up. Exhale, twist. 2 more here. Inhale as you lift. Exhale to thread. Last one. All right, option to add on now, extending your legs out long, or you can just repeat with your legs on the floor, but if possible, lifting up. Remember to feel the drawing of your elbow in towards your feet. Inhale, gazing up. Exhale, elbow to wrist. Keep going. 2 more. Last one. And slowly returning down. Really nice work. Let's make our way over onto all fours now and just move through a few rounds of cat and cow. Rounding your spine one way. Inhale back the other. Exhale as you move into the angry cat. Inhale as you move into your cow. Often the things that challenge us the most become our biggest lessons. I want you to remember that today in times when you feel like you might not be able to hold the pose any longer. See what lessons you can learn from the practice. Find a nice flat back position here. Tuck your toes under, lifting up, finding downward facing dog. Rise up high on your tippy toes. Round your spine as if you're doing the angry cat. Come all the way forwards into high plank. And then can you slowly lower yourself all the way down onto your belly. Untuck your toes, lengthening your legs long. Keep your hands underneath your shoulders. Inhale, lifting up into a baby cobra. And exhale, lowering down. Inhale, lifting up to baby cobra. And exhale, lowering down. Maybe lifting up a little bit higher each time if that feels okay for you. Moving with your breath. Inhale as you lift. Exhale as you lower. Pressing now all the way back to an extended child's pose. So tucking your toes under, sinking your hips back and down towards your heels, and see if you can come up onto your fingertips here. So finding extra length underneath your arms and lengthening through your spine. Feeling the rise and the fall of your belly on your thighs as you breathe. And then taking both of your hands over to the left. Place your right hand on top of your left. Keep sinking your hips back and down, finding space underneath your right arm as you breathe. Moving over to the other side, left hand on top of right, lengthening through your left side here. Returning your hands back through the middle and rise all the way back up onto all fours. From here, we're going to find gate pose. I want you to rotate your right leg out to the side. Keep pushing down through your right hand. Extend your left leg out long and lift your left arm up high to the sky. So with the right arm here, just double check that you're stacking your joints. So your wrist is underneath your elbow and your elbow is underneath your shoulder. And I want you to imagine that you're unscrewing a jar in your right hand outwards. This is going to help get that shoulder blade onto your ribs and find the support you need as we start to move into Vashisthasana, side plank. Today, can you lift your left leg up to the side and hold? Keep lifting and lengthening through your spine. And from here, start to draw your left knee up in towards your chest. Reach your left hand forward, take your peace fingers and wrap your left peace fingers around your left big toe. And then we're going to start to pivot now, your left foot all the way forward to the front end of your mat. Placing it there, release your hand. Lift your arms up high and start to hinge your hips forward, palms touch at the top, reaching up, maybe gazing up. Take a nice deep breath in. And then exhale, take your hands down onto the inside of your left leg. You might want to wiggle your left foot out just a little bit. Pick your right knee up off the mat and now step your right foot outside your right hand. And we're finding Malasana, Yogi squat. So we want to start to bend the knees, sink your hips down nice and low, and perhaps bring your hands to heart center. Now this can be a really challenging posture. If you are struggling, just grab a block and place it underneath your hip bones. Hands at heart center. Drive the triceps, the backs of your arms into your thighs and your thighs back into your triceps. Start to extend your heart forward. And can you breathe deeply here? Feeling the rise and the fall of your belly, in and out through your nose. Now push down through your feet, stand all the way up tall, bring your feet together and take a forward fold. Halfway lift when you get there, inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, standing tall, reaching up high. And exhale, hands heart center. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, forward fold over your legs, hands connect with the mat. Remember, you can bend your knees as much as you need to get your hands connecting with the mat. Stepping back, finding high plank. Now, if you have the block there, you can either get rid of it or perhaps keep it. And I want you to move it forwards so that it lines up with your ribs. From here, elbows in, coming down. You can get your ribs to connect with the block. Baby cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, press back, child's pose, and moving the block away if you've still got it. Come all the way up onto all fours. Let's move into our gate pose on the other side. Rotating your left foot out, right leg extends out along the mat, right arm reaches up. Remember, you've got that jar in your left hand that you're unscrewing, and then start to perhaps lift your right leg out to the side. Try to remove any bend in your back here. So see if you can lengthen through your spine, switching on your abdominals maybe a little bit more. Keep unscrewing that jar in your underneath hand. Bring your right knee up into your chest. Grab a hold of your big toe here. And we're going to use our hand to place our foot to the top end of the mat again. Let's move back into our yogi squat, malasana, with or without the block. You can have your feet slightly turned out. Try to sink your hips down and just double check that your knees aren't rolling inwards. Use your glutes to help squeeze them out. Hold and breathe, belly breaths. Push down through your legs, standing all the way up high, bringing your feet together. Exhale, hands heart center. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift as you inhale. And exhale, fold, hands to the mat. Step or float back high to low plank, maybe landing in low plank today. Baby cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, press back, downward facing dog. Rise up high in your tippy toes. Round your spine, ripple forwards to high plank. Now, you can return to gate pose again at any time. Otherwise, we're going to try and move into the full version of Vashisthasana side plank. Take your right hand more centered underneath you and drop your heels to the right. Unscrew the jar in your right hand and start to lift your left arm up high to the sky. Holding here, maybe you can stack your feet. So if at any stage you need to, you can always just drop that bottom knee. But otherwise, see if you can perhaps challenge yourself a little bit further today. Holding here, remembering the pose begins from the moment you want to leave it. Maybe now start to lift your knee up into your chest, left knee up into your chest, peace fingers wrap around your big toe. Just like we did before, can you pivot and landing your foot forwards? Lifting up this time into crescent lunge, reaching up high, gazing up. Exhale, take your hands down to the mat and step back to plank. We'll move straight away into the other side. Left hand comes more centered underneath you. Drop your heels to the left. Lift your right arm up high. Getting these foundations right is really important. Trying to wrap your shoulder blade onto your ribs is going to help you lots. Remember, you can always drop the bottom knee. Otherwise, see if you can stack your feet. Hold. Turn your gaze up towards your top hand if you like. Hold. Bring your right knee up into your chest. Peace fingers around your big toe. And pivot with control, stepping forwards. Release, lifting up, crescent lunge. Inhale. Exhale, taking your hands down. Optional vinyasa flow. We meet in downward facing dog. So coming through high plank, low plank, baby cobra, or upward facing dog. Exhale, press back, downward facing dog. Lift your right leg up high to the sky. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, bring your knee into your chest. Hold. And can you take your right knee across to your left elbow this time? See how you go. Extend your right leg through and then lifting up into fallen triangle. So it's the side plank just like we did. This time your underneath leg is extended forward. If possible, see if you can float your underneath leg up off the mat. Pivot with control back into downward facing dog. Pause here for a breath. And let's move into the other side. Left leg lifts up, three-legged dog. Inhale. Exhale, knee to chest, hold. Take your left knee across to your right elbow, hold. And then extend your left leg out nice and long underneath you. Drop your right heel to the mat and lift your right arm up high. Push down through your supporting arm. Can you lift your underneath leg up? Hold, you're gonna really use your inner thighs here. Breathe, and then return with control in downward facing dog. Rise up high in your tippy toes, bend your knees. This time we're going to jump or step your feet outside your hands and find Malasana Yogi squat again. Hips flat down, hands heart center, chest broadens, deep breath. Long spine, can you lengthen it up a little bit more? Slowly push down for your legs, lifting all the way up. And hands come through heart center. Let's bring our feet together. All right, final balance challenge before we start to wind down. Inhale, reach your arms up high. Exhale, forward fold. Step or float back, high plank. Right hand comes more centered underneath you. Rotate your heels to the right. Lift your left arm up high. If you're having any wrist issues, you can also do this, please, down on your elbow. Otherwise, up on your hand does create a little bit more space for you. From here, see if you can stack your feet wherever you're at. Stick with it. Maybe you're just holding the side plank today, or maybe you're still coming with me. Bring your top knee up into your chest. Grab a hold of your big toe, and can you start to kick your leg forwards this time? Maybe even start to lift your leg, all the way up high to the sky. Rotate forwards, step through. Finding yourself in this low runner's lunge, let's make our way into pyramid pose now. Start to lengthen both your legs long. Inhale, drifting forwards to your lunge. Exhale, pressing back, and you can always place blocks underneath your hands here to bring the floor closer to you. Inhale, floating forwards. Exhale, pressing back. Good, floating forwards. Push down through your hands. Lift your left leg up and back into the air. Left knee drifts up into your chest. Take your left knee across to your right elbow. Find your fallen triangle. Dropping your underneath leg through and rotate, lift. Once again, maybe you can lift your left leg off the mat. Option also to do this one on your elbow. Hold. Maybe you can grab a hold of your big toe. This is quite advanced, but maybe you can then start to bring your leg all the way forwards. Slowly, wherever you're at, we're returning back through three-legged dog and bringing your left leg all the way down. Pausing your downward dog for one deep breath. Come forwards to your high plank. Left hand comes more centered underneath you. Rotate your heels to the left. Lift your right arm up high. Holding here. Remember the options, elbow, always an option as well. Bring your right knee up into your chest. Reach for your big toe with your right hand and kick it forwards. Then maybe start to lift your right leg up high to the sky. Extra challenge, gazing up towards the ceiling. From here, pivot with control into your runner's lunge. From here, pyramid pose, hinging your hips back. Inhale, drifting forwards. Exhale back. Inhale forwards. One more, exhale back. Inhale forwards, push down through your arms. Sweep your right leg up into three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to chest. Knee to opposite elbow. Fallen triangle, send your leg through. Lift your arms up high, one hand does need to stay on the mat. And then from here, maybe you can lift the underneath leg up. Grab a hold of your big toe if you want to. Reach your foot forwards. Hold. And then slowly make your way back into downward facing dog. Inhale, ripple forwards through high plank. Exhale, lower yourself all the way down onto your belly and roll over onto your back. Moving into happy baby, grab a hold of the outer edges of your feet here. Draw your knees down towards your armpits, and then maybe take a gentle sway from side to side. Maybe extend one leg out long, maybe the other. Do any final stretches that you would like to do today before finding Shavasana. Start to really soften now in Shavasana after such a yang practice. See if you can drop into some yin qualities here. Today we moved through some very challenging asana postures. We moved through some very challenging postures today in our practice. And as we move forward off your mat into the world, remembering that our biggest challenges often become our biggest teachers. Start to wiggle your fingers and your toes, bringing some gentle energy back to your body. And take a nice deep breath in through your nose. Exhaling through your mouth. And then slowly rolling over onto one side, pausing there for a moment. And when you're ready, with no rush, slowly making your way up into a seated position, cross-legged or kneeling, hands down on your thighs. Lengthen your spine up nice and tall. Inhale, reach your arms up high. Palms touch at the top, and exhale, bring your hands down through heart center. Namaste.
Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, you'll love our health and fitness program. It's a holistic, fuss-free lifestyle with daily coach workouts, family-friendly meal plans, and practical mindfulness. Head to mytxo.com to sign up today.